Hey everyone, Switch Double here. It is time to give the answers for my Q&A of my 8,500 subscribers special. I know that I was supposed to be doing another Q&A earlier, but since I only had a few questions on that one, so I decided to cancel it. But I still saved some of those questions from the previous one that I was supposed to be using, but I decided to add it in this one. So I only have 40 questions from 3 different people, but still, I'm impressed of the amount of questions I have so far. But let's start with the first questions now. The first few questions are from my friend Game Guy, and one is from his older brother Roy. And some of the questions also involved my girlfriend Figots. But since she hasn't given me her answers in this question, so I will try my best in order to give what she think she would answer for the questions. But number one, what are your and Fire Goddess favorite seasons and why? Well, for Fire Goddess answer, I can't give you exact answer on that one, but if I would give my best guess, probably season 7 and season 9. And my favorite seasons are season 4 and season 7. Season 4 is when Tirak had his first appearance and when Twilight and her friends beat him. That was probably one of the best, well, the best scene ever. And for season 7, well, that's easy because it involves about Applejack's parents. Previously, we had never even seen anything about her parents at all, like their names or even how they look like. There was a lot of speculation on that. But in season 7, we finally have their names and their look revealed. I was very happy to at least see that. So that is why season 7 is my favorite season of that question. Number 2. What is Fire Goddess' opinion on G5 of For My Little Pony? Well, I can't give you a right answer right now. She hasn't really seen any of the full episodes of chapter 1 to 6 at all. But she has seen sort of my videos of the stories that I've been based on, and she has seen clips on YouTube. So I think her opinion is that she likes G5. My opinion, though, even though this is not my question, but I like G5. And the third question is, do you think Opaline will become reformed like Discord did? Well, this question is a little bit outdated, but if I had answered the question back then, I would say it's a possibility, but now we know it is no. She did not become reformed. But honestly though, I really doubted that Opaline would ever even would even get the chance or even take the opportunity to be reformed. That is what I believe in that. And the fourth and final question is from Roy. He asks, what is your and Fire Goddess' least favorite movies are? Oh, well, if you're involved just the G4, not as easy. MLP the movie and Rainbow Road Trip. Those are my favorite. But for Fire Goddess, I am assuming that she likes at least MLP the movie that was released in 2017. And that is all the questions for my friend Game Guy. Next questions are from Cody Lane. My friend Cody Lane had asked me plenty of questions. Even from my cancelled Q&A, which I did save, so for those questions, there are 10. Here's number 1. Why, why are many MLP fans still so against Port Spike? My answer is that because I believe, at least, that most fans were so much against Spike because he was a baby dragon. They believe that he couldn't even handle some of the most difficult tasks or anything. I mean, might be the case. But since Spike did grow up a little bit more after he got his wings, he seemed to be able to kind of be taking on some difficult tasks. And when he was older in the last episode of season 9, he was showing to be much more mature. So that is my belief why so many fans were against Spike. That when he was a small baby dragon, that he wouldn't be taken seriously of his small size, that he wouldn't be able to take much any big things. That is what I believe at least. His second question is, do you think Hitch would be shipped with either Sunny or Sip? Well, my opinion is because based on a few factors. One, for Sunny, Hitch and Sunny are childhood friends, so they have known each other for a long time. But for Sip, well, it's more based on that they share similar traits of personality. Sip is very outgoing, very forward, and very sharp in detective skills, after all. And Hitch is a sheriff of Maritime Bay, so they share some similar traits in that. So my opinion is maybe either Sip or Sunny. But if I get my honest opinion, more likely Sunny, because they know each other. But my own opinion, it would be Misty. For what reason? Well, when they were in Starlight Ridge, in Secrets of Starlight, he and Misty were sharing a very much beautiful moment when they had Sparky between them when they were ice skating. It was like they were a family. But that's my only opinion about that, of course. But honestly, I think more as Sunny would have been perfect. His third question is, what if Spike appeared in G5 of MLP as a giant dragon and was voiced by the actor Elijah Wood? Well, we do know that fact now. He did appear as an older dragon in G5. And unfortunately, as both me and Cody were very disappointing that the voice actor was not Elijah Wood. But we know that now Spike is in fact in G5. I was really impressed, and when they first showed the trailer of Chapter 6, and when I saw the dragon that looks like Spike, I wasn't really 100% convinced if that was Spike or not. But when it was shown to be him, I was very happy that they brought him back at least. So, my opinion, yeah, Spike did appear in G5. Fourth question is, what if the main 5, no, main 6, which they are now known as, is the most beautiful one? To him, it is mostly Sip. Oh, this is a not difficult question to me to answer, but I have to say this, it's either between Misty or Izzy. But I have to say more to Misty, because her new main color is a complete amazing work. So I have to say Misty. And his sixth question is, what if the main 6 were the next wielders of the elements of harmony? And he said, Sunny would be magic, Izzy laughter, Hitch kindness, Pip generosity, Sip as loyalty, and Misty as honesty. Well, that's, in his opinion, that would have been a very, very perfect match based on their personality, and I actually agree with him on that one. And I mean, they would have been perfect because even though we know that the elements of harmony were destroyed, but if they would somehow regain, being repaired or restored, those matched as Sunny with magic, Izzy as laughter, Hitch as kindness, Pip as generosity, Sip as loyalty, and Misty as honesty. I believe those are perfect match even from my belief and my opinion about that. His second question is, can Misty ever understand the error of her misguided ways soon? Well, yes, she did eventually understood over her misunderstanding of her opinion, what she was doing for Opaline at the time. And I do honestly believe that eventually Misty understood that Opaline was never had intention to giving her the help, to give her the help to find her cutie mark eventually. And so I do believe that Misty realized her mistakes and that she was misguided and almost like if she was like brainwashed by Opaline to do her dirty work. But that was only what I believe at least. His eighth question is, do you think Spike is better off shipped with Rarity or Smolder? His opinion was he's okay with either. And I do have to say Rarity is actually, after all, he had known her from ever since he moved to Ponyville. So he had known her for the 9 seasons. And he only knows Smolder for only not even half of the time. So my opinion, Rarity is what I believe. And number 9, do you think Celestia and Luna will return in G5? And he said, I think they're still immortal. Well, I mean, we haven't really seen them actually appeared in G5. Only like a more like a backstory when they were just a Phyllis. But are they still alive? Pretty much, yeah. After all, here's one of my answer, and can literally confirm it. Since Opaline, she was a, she is around the same age as at least Celestia. She lived in the same place as Luna and Celestia. So that means and since she has been alive the whole time, even up to G5 and even the modern times on G5. So it's just saying, and even as Opaline once said in the earlier chapters, she is immortal. So yeah, Celestia and Luna are still around in G5, but never seen, but they're pretty much still also immortal. I don't think that the running staff behind G5 never even had intention to bring back Luna and Celestia as an actual appearance in the show. I mean, I think that since this was supposed to be taking place a few centuries after G4, so I believe they were mostly because even though we did see them as Phyllis, it was a nice touch. There was a nice moment in that. But other than that, I don't think they would have even made appearance. So and why? Well, maybe they're just living somewhere else, maybe far away from Equestria. Who knows? But it's possible. And his 10 and final question from this first set is, what will it take for all MLP fans to give Spike the love, respect, and other props he deserved instead of being cold-shouldered, stink-eye, and other disrespectful things he has been secretly getting? And, well, honestly, I have no much any idea of how to tell the fans out there to give him the respect and love that he deserves. I mean, of course, not only him, not only Spikey has to be in the same reaction. I know there are in fact some fans that might even have the same opinions about some of the main six, like Pinky, Rarity, even Rainbow Dash. But I agreed. Spikey should give in the right to have, well, the love and respect. And treating him with cold shoulders and disrespectful is not a good idea. But he really deserves all the love and respect as other his friends have. But that is only my opinion of that though. Kundalini had asked me 11 more questions. The first one is, what is everyone's love with the main six, but mostly Twilight, Pinkie, and Fluttershy? Well, for Twilight, I believe it's mostly because of her natural leader skills and how she is very talented in magic. But I also believe that also it might be because of her being as a princess. And that might is the only reason for that, I believe. And what about Pinkie? Well, due to the fact that Pinkie has her hyper personality, might be one of the causes of that, in that she loves to bake and always wants to see others smiles. And I also think mostly because of her hyper and her goofy personality is one of the reasons why most fans likes her. And for Fluttershy, well, that's quite easy. I mean, after all, she's very shy, and she loved animals. Who doesn't love animals? And I do believe that's also that because she always speaks her mind, and even though she is maybe not very much outgoing since she is a very shy personality, and it might also be that she isn't loud speaker. She doesn't scream anything, and well, it has happened a few times that she spoke a bit louder in occasion, but otherwise, I think it's that, and also that when she sings with her animal friends and with the pony tunes, it might be because of that. And honestly, my opinion of one of my favorite ones are Fluttershy. His second question is, shouldn't there be a special Spike episode with 3 or 4 songs and as a musical Spike episode? Oh yeah, definitely it would have been definitely worth a Spike given us just one episode for himself. I mean, even though that Spike only is a background character, but only is a smaller role, but yeah, Spike really deserved his own episode back in G4, and that is all I do believe. Even as a musical, then yes. His third question is, if you had elemental powers, what would it be? Oh yeah, that's easy. Ice. Ice power, it's definitely. After all, I like some of the I like the winter season. So I would have liked to have ice. His fourth question is, shouldn't there be an Equestria Girl special of Sunset Shimmer and her friends finished from high school? Yes, I believe that it should have been given an opinion of even as a short movie special when they are finishing high school. After all, they had done a few back when they were on this cruise and others. So yeah, I believe that they should have done that when they were finishing high school and maybe telling what they wanted to focus on in their future lives. His fifth question is, who should be the main six be shipped with? And since Pinkie is with Sid Sandwich, his opinion is Rarity with Spike, Twilight with Flash Sentry, Rainbow with Soren, Applejack with Caramel, and Fluttershy with Brayburn. If Fluttershy did end up marrying Brayburn, she would be related to Applejack. Um, but yeah, I think Twilight would be Flash. Rainbow with Soren, without a doubt. Applejack with Caramel, yeah, I mean I can see that happening. And for Fluttershy, well, I might have to focus on more my personal belief, Discord. After all, Fluttershy have been shipping Discord for all this time. So yeah, I think in that order, it would have been perfect. His sixth question is, would Celestia be more love interest for Discord since they're both thousands of years old ahead together, or something like that? Well, considering that both are have been around for so long, and they have known about each other for so long, then yes, I honestly believe they should have been together also, considering that they have been aware of each other for so long time, and so yeah. His second question is, shouldn't there should it be or aren't there any hints of or signs or anything like that about Hitch being shipped or being closer to either Sunny or Sip? Well, I mean, even though so that he's close to Sunny after all their childhood friends, and Sip, well, I mean, since they get to know each other in the previous chapters, even though in the first movie he was hesitating to even want to be even near a Pegasus or a unicorn. I mean, that was mainly based on the fact of how they have been taught or to avoid any Pegasus or unicorns. But after you got to know Sip more and more over time, but I mean, either Sunny or Sip would work. But since Sunny and Hitch had known each other for their entire childhood, and even back then, it there wasn't seen any signs of any romance between them or if any romantic feelings. But Sip might be more the better candidate for that. His eighth question is, will there be more MLP G5 and more 3D episodes when Make Your Mark is done? Actually, no. Unfortunately, even though the series Make Your Mark is done, but MLP G5 is still continuing, but not as the 3D versions at all. It will continue as this 2D style as a web series. Tell Your Tale will only be the continuous storyline of G5 from now on. I was really disappointed that they decided to just end Make Your Mark in that way. I mean, if they could have continued Make Your Mark when they had this new main villain, Alora, this flying snow leopard, I was really disappointed that they just decided to make end of that. But they should have continued that. Or something similar. But yeah. His ninth question is, other than Twilight, can there be any characters on G4 returning? And unfortunately, no, I don't believe that it would. Only for her and Spike. Well, technically, Twilight wasn't actually there. There was more like a magical hologram, but it still counts her and Spike. But if there would have been any other G4 characters, yeah, it would have been like maybe the Royal Sisters if they made only a brief appearance somewhere, either distant, maybe. But that was only what I believe. His 10th question is, what are your thoughts on between Applejack and versus Sandy Cheeks? Um, I really have no idea since I hadn't even watched it, at least yet though. But I think, in opinion, since Sandy Cheeks knows martial art and Applejack's her skills with a lasso, which even Sandy Cheeks knows how to use a lasso, but I think maybe Applejack could have been the winner if I've seen it though, but I might do it though eventually. And his 11th and final question. If there was a special voice actor in G5, who would it be? Oh, now that's a tough one. There are many good voice actors out there. Like if Adam West, for example, the one who made the original Batman, or Mayor West from Family Guy. Now that would have been a good voice actor. But he's thought of Mark Hamill, the one who made the role as Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill as a voice actor, and maybe Elijah Wood could have been two perfect voice actors for as a role for any characters in G5. Next further questions are from Robert Freeman. Robert Freeman asked me 15 questions. Number 1. I have a question. Do you take requests for Kingdom Hearts stories or just My Little Pony stories? Well, I have seen videos on YouTube based on the game Kingdom Hearts. And since that games are mostly based on Disney characters, like the iconic ones, so I'm afraid I had to say no on that one. And for the second part of the question, is it just only My Little Pony stories? Then no. I actually have done other stories based on different franchises, like Pokemon, Digimon, Star Wars, and others. But of course, it will only be my final decision if I want to do the stories or not. His second question is, how fast do you get the True Love audio videos done? Well, that's quite easy to answer. First, I don't use any scripts for any of those stories at all. Well, except for my non-MLP last stories as audios, I only used partially as a part of script, like only the names of the characters in the story. But other than that, I don't use any script. And how fast I've done them, well, it's another factor that I don't even know exactly how long they will be. Even sometimes when I plan out them to be around 20 plus minutes long, they could be even longer than that. So sometimes if I'm doing them for just 20 or 25 minutes, it will just take that 20 to 25 minutes of recording by audio. And so yeah, that's based on that question though. His third question is, how do you get the picture for the video? Well, it's not really difficult to answer this one. It's mostly Twiboro, Derpyboro, Google, and yeah. But for the fact, some of my videos I actually used a website that you can make your own characters based on the MLP the movie from 2017 actually. So some of that actually has been done myself, but some I actually found online. So yeah. His fourth question is, I have a request for True Love audio videos about the characters. I don't know who to put them with. The characters are Audrey, Pip, Jaws, Trixie, and Luster Dawn. Well, that might be not difficult to figure out, but I mean, it's always possibility from any of those characters. So, I mean, I might have no problem to figure out. So, anyways, number 5 question. His fifth question is, what type of music do you think these characters will like? Cozy Glow, Flurry Heart, Starlight Glimmer, Twilight Sparkle, Trixie, Lightning Dust, Rainbow Dash, Grugar, Discord, Fluttershy, Apple Bloom, Skululu, Diamond Tiara, Sweetie Belle, and Rarity. Well, for Cozy Glow, I think more like rock music. Flurry Heart, pop music. Starlight, hip hop. Twilight Sparkle, instrumental background music. After all, she loves to study, and I think that would have been a perfect music for her to have been study or something like that. Trixie, soul. Lightning Dust, rock. Rainbow Dash, definitely reggae. Grugar, without doubt, hard rock. Discord, reggae. Fluttershy, blues. Apple Bloom, country music. Squirrelu, soul. Diamond Tiara, classical music. Sweetie Belle, blues. And Rarity, without a doubt, classical music. His sixth question is, what are your favorite My Little Pony ships? Now that's not difficult. Fluttershy, Discord, Twilight Sparkle with Flash Sentry are my favorites. His seventh question is, what is your opinion on the My Little Pony fanfic Cupcakes? I am aware of the MLP Cupcakes stories, and well, it's not really my thing to read, be honest, though. So I really don't really like the MLP Cupcakes fanfics out there. I don't like it. His eighth question is, what is your opinion on Misty from My Little Pony G5? Well, in the beginning I was very hesitating to believe much about her character since she was a minion of Opaline Arcana. But eventually we started seeing that some of her beliefs of helping Opaline was the wrongdoing. And my opinion that started to change. And afterwards, I started loving the character. And now I absolutely love the character of Misty. She is a very true, good friend. And I honestly believe that she must have been brainwashed or something, but I honestly though love the character of Misty Bright Dawn. His ninth question is, who is your favorite My Little Pony G4 characters? Now that's easy. Fluttershy, Twilight, Discord, Applejack, and Luna. All my favorite ones. His 10th question is, do you take story requests for Spyro the Dragon? First, I'm aware of the Spyro Dragon games. Never played them though. And I had been suggested if I should do stories based on the Spyro Dragon with some of the characters from G4. And I actually at first was hesitating to do them. But recently, I started to change my mind about it. So I actually thinking of at least try to make one or two sometimes later on in the future. But I can't say right now when I will do them though. Just saying. His 11th question is, what happened to the villain statue in G5? Brief mention here. The statue did appear in G4 comic book series season 10. And by the end of that comic series, the statue was cracking. They were getting free from it. But since that comic book series is not canon, so that doesn't count. And since the first comics of G5, we are seeing that the Canterlot is in ruins. And the fact is that the statue was located in Canterlot. So we don't know for sure, but since the city of Canterlot was in ruins, so presumably if under two scenarios, one, the statue is smashed to pieces after a time, or two, the statue is still intact and still standing there in the garden, or well, in the former garden of the Canterlot city. So we don't know what happened to it. But if I had to give my best opinion, it's probably smashed to pieces after centuries of being unattended. So yeah, that's at least my opinion about that part. His 12th question is, do you think Izzy is related to Pinkie Pie? Well, hard to tell. We know for a fact at least two things. Izzy is a unicorn. Pinkie is an earth pony. But it doesn't mean they couldn't be related. After all, a few things. One, it has been a few centuries by the end of G4 and the beginning of G5. So it's possible some of Pinkie's, well, future descendants might have ended up with a unicorn, and eventually it's possible, since we know that the fact that Pinkie and Cheese Sandwich had a son by the end of G4. So it's a possibility that Izzy and Pinkie could be direct related. But if Pinkie and Izzy are not related by blood themselves, like if Pinky isn't his direct ancestor, it could also mean that maybe one of Pinky's sisters could also be direct ancestor to Izzy. So even though Izzy wasn't related to Pinky by directly, she could still be related to Pinky even through one of her sisters. So it's a possibility in either though. Who knows? His 13th question is, do you think Pip Jazz is a good ship? It would make a good audio video. First, I think Jazz and Pip is a good shipping, definitely, since they know each other and work together. So that, without a doubt, it was a good shipping. But as an audio video, I might do it as an audio video, or maybe just do it as a regular one with text and music. But right now, I don't know. His 14th question is, do you take story requests for Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, I actually have seen some episodes of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! And even though it was not one of my favorite anime series, honestly though, but I may have to say no, I might not take any request of Yu-Gi-Oh! At all. His 15th question is, do you do couples you already did as a text video but as audio video? My answer would be no, I wouldn't. Sorry. There you have it. The answers from my 8500 Q&A video this time. You may ask when the next one will be. Well, it won't until I reach 9,000 subscribers. And it might take a while when I reach that. So, yeah, next one won't be until I reach 9,000 subscribers. I hope that everyone is happy about the answers for your questions, and I'm just happy to be able to reach 8,500 subscribers at this point. And the next Q&A will take a while until I reach 9,000 subscribers. And as always, this is Switch Diablo, over and out.